was a kind of funny.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, one of the challenges for her is that every candidate wants to be the change candidate, right? You have a former president and a sitting vice president, so they're not the natural change candidates. She has to figure out on this debate stage how she can both embrace part of her record that people may like and also build on it and tell people that she's going to do something different. That is very tricky.
Sounds like you're saying she has a higher bar.
She does have a higher bar. I think there's higher expectations for her. I will say, I'm not sure that looking in the past, that's not what the public is really looking for. We know that from every election ever. People want a forward-looking plan and vision. So the other part of what she needs to do is tell people exactly what she's going to do.
Do you think she's made it unnecessarily hard on herself in this particular moment? Because she hasn't done very much off the cuff, unscripted. She did one interview since being elevated to the top of the ticket. Now it's this night. Does that just ratchet up the stakes when they don't need to be ratcheted up any higher?
I actually think the biggest challenge for her is that she's never met him before or interacted with him before. And she is a studious, thorough prepper, which I think is good no matter what political party you're from. That's a good thing. But it also means you have to let go of those briefing books and be in the moment. Donald Trump is not a standard, traditional policy debating candidate. So it requires a different muscle. And I think she's never practiced that muscle before. And that's the piece that I think is going to be challenging.
Respond. We got a question.
Yeah, just quickly. It's interesting because you do want to look in the future. There's no doubt about that. The problem with Kamala Harris is every time she starts to say, I promise you I will. On day one, I'm going to. Donald Trump can just say, but you're the sitting vice president right now. Either you can't do those things or you won't. Either way, I don't think the American people are going to buy it.
You both know him very well. Lara Trump just told us a few moments ago he's going to be calm, cool, and collected. Raise your hand if you think he will be.
Like always.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? He's always calm.
Is that the worst thing that could happen to Kamala Harris?
If he is calm, cool, and collected, I'm not sure it's the worst thing, but I think she is going to hopefully not take the bait. I think the Clinton advice is good advice to her. Don't take the bait. Try to bait him a little bit. That would be a win for her.
All right. Hogan and Jen, thank you very much. Both veterans of the White House. Coming up, we've got Steve Kornacki here to break down where this race stands. Spoiler alert, it's very, very tight, and how tonight's debate could shake things up. We're back right after this.
What is going to happen? Oh, yeah, this is it, right?
News for the generation of now is NBC News Now.
Welcome back to our special coverage of tonight's presidential debate between Vice President Harris and former President Trump. We'll be bringing you the debate live when it begins.
wins in less than 25 minutes.
And tonight will be a critical moment, and it could shake up what many see as a tight race, a deadlock race with less than 2 months to go before Election Day.
Steve Kornacki is with us tonight at the big board to break it all down. Where's this going?
Yeah, I mean, close. And let's put this in some perspective here. What you're looking at is the average of all of the major national polls that are out there right now. This is a running average we keep. Harris at a 47-45 for Trump. 2-point lead there for Harris. Obviously, Democrats like that. But some context for that. First of all, there's this. Donald Trump has run from behind both previous times he ran for president. At this same point, 4 years ago, in our poll average, Donald Trump was trailing Joe Biden by 7.8 points. And at the same point in 2016, in our poll average, Trump was trailing Hillary Clinton by 4.5 points. Now it's only 2. So, yeah, Trump's behind, but this is closer than he's been in the polling in previous elections. And there's also this. Remember, in 2016, Trump lost the national popular vote to Clinton, won in the Electoral College. In 2020, Trump lost the popular vote by a wide margin to Joe Biden, almost won in the Electoral College. Is there going to be a gap like that again that works to Trump's favor, an Electoral College advantage? That's what you think about when you look at this. The 7 core battleground states, and again, poll average here, the average of the major polls in those states right now. And you see the headline, obviously, these are very close margins. Look, Harris, 1/10 of 1 point in the North Carolina average right now. Trump by a 0.5 point in Georgia. These are very, very close, although you take a look and you see one here that's a little different. That's Wisconsin. Harris on average just over 4 points ahead right now. This was, keep in mind, Wisconsin, the source of the single biggest polling miss in 2020. It had Joe Biden well ahead, nearly 10 points on average. He won the state by less than 1 point. The polling here was way off in 2016 as well. There was a pretty big miss in Michigan, too. States with large blue-collar white populations where Trump has run up very big numbers. The polls didn't sufficiently capture that in 16 and 20. Is that going to be different in 2024, or is there more Trump support in some of these states than it appears in the polls? That's a major question to think about as you see more numbers come out. And then you just see in this column right here, the electoral votes. Again, 7 core battleground states. Where's tonight's debate? It is in the state that is first among equals when it comes to battleground states. 19 electoral votes in Pennsylvania, more than any other. What does that mean functionally? If you're one of these campaigns and you lose Pennsylvania, mathematically, if you want to offset that, you got to win at least 2 others to make up for the 19 that you're losing out on in Pennsylvania. This is the king of the battleground states.
Steve, not to bring up back memories, but won't we were here until Saturday, the week of the election, waiting for Pennsylvania?
That's right, 11:30 Saturday morning, 2020.
Oh my God, but who's counting, right? Okay, well, we shall see. Thank you. That sets it up very nicely for our next guest. What do voters want to hear from candidates tonight? These battleground voters, they're the deciders. Kate Snow is in Pennsylvania talking to those undecided swing voters. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Savannah. Yeah, we're at the Churchville Inn. It's a restaurant in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. That's right outside of Philadelphia. This is a county that really could be pivotal in the state of Pennsylvania. And as Steve was just saying, it could be pivotal. Pennsylvania, as it goes, could be pivotal for the whole election. So we gathered 3 voters with me. They are all undecided voters. Each one of you is registered differently. We have Lynn Kelleher, who's a registered Republican and a realtor here in town. We have Hannah Reed, an independent, a mom of 3. And then we have Andrew Wallace, who's registered Democrat and owns this place, by the way, the owner of the restaurant. What's interesting, though, is you all cannot decide. And Lynn, you told us that you find Trump, I forget your word, reprehensible. You really don't like the guy, but you find Harris, you said that you don't understand what she stands for. She needs to explain. What are you looking for tonight?
For me, the election is a decision between economics and morals. I like some of Trump's economic policies.
Yeah.
I abhor him, quite
Because of
frankly,
his morals.
because of his morals or lack thereof. But she, I think, is talking a lot of fluff. She hasn't said anything substantive. I don't know that she has the experience or the wherewithal to lead this country out of the economic situation that we're in.
I'm going to note, all three of you voted for Trump in 2016 and then changed in 2020. Hannah, let me go to you. You said you're very frustrated going into this debate. Why?
Because the election itself is no longer about policies. It's no longer about the real issues in this country, like the economics or the inflation.
You don't like the name calling.
The name calling, I mean, the back and forth. It's about who can get one over on the other, to the point that we are not pushing policies through just because the person that put it through was from another party.
And Andrew, let me ask you about your issues, because we were talking earlier. You like some of the things. You're really big on policies that Trump supports, and then you're also really big on policies that Harris supports. You don't know what you're going to do. So what do you need to hear tonight?
I feel left behind by the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party, Harris received 0 votes. I would have liked to have a say in the primary, and they didn't give me that. I feel that they think that they know what's best for me. Harris hasn't said anything. Harris's policies, a lot of them, have just been stolen from Trump. Taxes on tips, putting up the border wall. She's said absolutely nothing of her own with her own ideas. So I'm waiting to see anything from her that is an original idea and not stolen from the other candidate.
All right, guys, we're going to watch this debate together, and Savannah and Lester, we will certainly report back on sort of what the reactions are here in the room. It's an instant focus group.
Yeah, some important voices to hear. Kate, thanks very much. Let me bring in 2 experts at debate preparation. Greg Craig served as White House counsel in the Obama administration. He prepped John Kerry by playing George W. Bush. And Judd Gregg is a former senator from New Hampshire who prepped George W. Bush by playing John Kerry. And Senator, let me begin with you. You know, the candidates...
We're sort of hitting you a tongue-tie there.
Yes, it's not easy. The Harris folks really want to put forth her and introduce her to people who don't know a lot about her right now. Is this a good time for any candidate to change who they are, who the viewers and voters perceive them to be?
People can't change themselves. Really, these debates turn on a few things, I think. First is your mannerisms, especially when you have a split screen. If you'll remember when George